Hello. If the thumbnail and this image confuses you, well, dear viewer, I'm reviewing another fanfiction called From Sea to Sky by the author known as Number 75. How I found this, I was basically bored, and I just saw it. I'm like, okay, you know what? And it's a very good and interesting read. Now, these are one of the three authors that are in the fun, are in Unknown Six, the author of Courier from Kyoto's fanfiction, Discord server. It's Discord server for its fanfiction. So technically, yes, I can get in contact with them, and I will be asking them for. Can get in contact with them, and no, I do not get an interview with them, sadly. But I'm here to legitimately explain, go over, and kind of glaze a bit of Nelson and Number 75's writing. So where to begin with this? Where to begin with this? Hmm. Well, I should begin with the with the interesting thing that usually you would point at that he's introducing around around three chapters. Nelson Nelson sunk. Didn't some may or may not be may or may not have gone to fish. We don't know. And everyone and even though yeah sure she may we don't know if she went to fish or not. If she's here she probably didn't go fish. There's also the fact that she can't use her rigging. She has access to weapons that her crew has, which includes the Enfield's pistols and a sword, but she can't use her rigging. Well, she can't use her primary all of her rigging. In a few other later chapters called intervalos, actually no, intervals or interludes. I think of somebody has brain rotted me. Um, during the interludes there is a test, and she does have access to the AA mounts, uh, but she can. But then again, it does take 30 seconds for her to actually materialize them. But why is this? Why am I glazing this Arthur writer? From what I can tell, and from what I've seen and also talked to people about, number 75 is the longest fanfiction is the most out there. And this video is hopefully during their off week, where they're still writing or their friends still reading through it. Hopefully, because they do it every 2 weeks is when they update, and I'm planning to get out before before they update again. Oh, you know they're in early or they're doing interludes right now. But where are they? Where are they in this fanfiction? Well, as of currently, the current chapter, they just they are Nelson has helped them make a work club, and they've passed. They're not getting thrown out of school. But let's go jump back to Abydos. But let's just hop a little bit back to Abydos. So, Abydos, so here's one thing that immediately around one point where you will get thrown off by Nelson. In one of the chapters there, in one of the chapters during this, I during the chapter on fanfiction.net is called Wasteland's Ambush, but they also have a secondary naming for a chapter in calling Awakening of the Octo whatever that is, it was up on screen. But this one is a Serica kidnapping the parts. So there's that one, and there's the Octobot Unleash, which is chapter afterwards. These two chapters are showcasing that Nelson can take fire, but she can't get injured, but she is very resilient to bullets. Why? Because she's a battle. Because technically, she's a Kansan, and this and the author has given her resistance to calibers. Well, that she at times where she is damaged, she will try and equate to where the actual ship damage. You, I suggest you go in the fan fiction and read it. It will be in the description down below. Both Spacebattles, where they are majorly active and they will answer questions. They have answered to my mind, and you may also see me ranting and raving and trying to bring up theories over there. And on fanfiction.net, where they do not answer that many questions, but then again, it is cool to see. Again, it's there. But those two chapters is the one part in there where Nelson kind of goes taps into something. We don't, and I'm sure kind of weirds out a bit. Let's go on to a later chapter. I believe what is called the sorry, which is called Desert Typhoon in Fanfiction.net, and below it's called Nessalt's Wrath. And they do have a written. I do believe that Fanfiction.net, in Fanfiction.net, they can actually. I don't think they could do what they wanted to do there. It's kind of fancy. So I also will say this: go over, go to Space Battleships and read that chapter there because it's better there. They will constantly say, go over there, it's better there. You don't have to sign up and make an account for it. You don't have to make an account for it. You don't have to make an account for it with me. That one is also a cooler chapter, and it's formatted even cooler, along with some of their interludes. But that one, Nelson wakes up something. She has a butt, and it seemingly that she can't. That it's something that she tapped into. Let me grab a quote from this real quickly. The main quote I'm going to be using is from Nelson's inner dialogue, where she's somewhat simply talking to herself or distorting. Oh dear, I hope I didn't come out Project Moon fans. Will you wait and let another loved one slip through your grasp? No, not after Hood, not after Rodney, not after Prince, not another junior, another sister, another friend. I refuse to sit on the sidelines unable to protect anyone. No, you may have noticed something. Prince. What do you mean by Prince? So I believe that the author herself stated in on Space Battleships. This is where I also got the quote. A quote. There's also a beneath that one where it is in German, and I want to read it here. But I will get back to Prince after I read this. England. I think I was about to read German one. England expects everyone to fulfill their duty. Have you fulfilled yours? And below it is in German. Now, let me get back to the author part. The authors, I believe, have stated that she's poised off of the European princess, I believe. European One Princess, which is shown on screen as of now, which from the wiki it says it is both Nelson and Bismarck. So the authors saw that, read that, probably went, oh, so I can make it both of them, or I can make it one of the both of them, which they did in this scene, which it is German comments of that. Oh, there's another interview. There is one. She's like, she wakes up. I think it's Bismarck, but she wakes up. And she's like, and she Nelson questions herself, who is she? But she reminds herself, this is she is Nelson from the Royal Navy. Now, what are the consequences of the fun of Abyss and her probably not going abyssal? The water started cold rain, and ice showed up in the desert, which is not normal. And also along with that, every half of the one shell crew, whoever helped during shell again. Read the fanfiction, not gonna spoil it. Along with their shell crew that was in this fanfiction, all that meant, yeah, we're getting a babysitter for you now. Now I could talk about I could talk about how the next arc, which is Millennium, first half of Millennium. I don't think I should talk about that much. One key difference I want to put out here is that Aris knows that she's not human. Like, someone off the bat when she was playing video games, she recognized Nelson. Nelson. She called him, I think, Nelson Sensei. I believe she called her. Well, it's normal, but like Mentor Nelson. But she also calls him. I believe she actually called him Mentor Nelson. She calls him Nelson Dad, and it's adorable. But it's also she recognized that Nelson isn't human. She's not like everybody else. She's somewhat like me. Alright, shall I read what Nelson's bullshit powers are? Bullshit. Abyssal. Her Abyssal reading. She might be going Abyssal or not. Everyone's guessing it. I'm saying she is going Abyssal. You're also thinking, maybe not. But is a reading of that. Well, that there is a little scrap with Nura, with small maid, but we don't have to talk about that. Nelson wins and Ars wins by Ars using her gun hitting Nura with her gun like it's a refrigerator. Now, I would love to yap about the arc and what happened during it, and also like the cool things I love to glaze them more. But I want something. I want to turn folks to all the Chekhov guns and all the theories I crafted here. So this is somewhat theory crafting video and me yapping about the fan fiction. author likes to put Chekhov guns or random places or for good reason, you know, at random points. The ones that technically we see during intervalos is with okay. I'm going to be talking. I'm going to probably be spoiling probably chapter 4, pro, some of Blue Archives. I think the chapter, the Rabbits of Karatan one, that chapter about the Rabbit Squad, and probably other stuff. But then again, but sorry, I didn't say it earlier. I'm saying it now, because technically all stuff wasn't that important. I'm also spoiling the fanfiction again. Go read it. It's very good. I'm go now after you watch this video. So no, the agent now. Now the one I think I'm saying her name wrong. Kaya, the one pink haired, the one. If you play Blue Archive, you know what she does. She has there's a, every single interval when it's a Rin, when it's a Rin interlude. Or I keep saying interval. Um, Nelson accidentally screws up Kaya's plans. And in the current arc, in the current arc, she messes up by there's one little thing that the author has introduced here. And that thing that she introduced is called a list of emergency protective order suspensions. Ren goes, wait a minute, I shut that down. And also says, well, it's seemingly not shut down. I found it. And then, and that's something that Kaya had and screwed over. And that Nessa actually screwed over with that. Because she was holding some of the SRT students back due to that. Now, what? Now, what other checkup guns are there that, seemingly have been fired off? Throughout this arc, seemingly Nelson's been doing some shitty stuff. She was talking with someone on the phone. There's also one where she's making uniforms, tossed them out a window, and someone else picked them, and something was picked up. And there's one, and it seems something else. A lot of things were happening behind the screens that we couldn't see. Most people on Spacebattles where it was more about, the up around and find out chart with Nagisa, and also when Beatrice is going to be laid out completely and utterly. But it's a fun thing to look at. It's a funny thing to talk about. It's right, and it's good to laugh at Beatrice because she is a horrible person. But with us being attracted by that, Nelson had in the later arc later down the line, the next chapter, it's really odd that because in this chapter all the Tea Party guards are knocked out. In the next chapter, they're not knocked out. They're fighting back, but they're fighting back oddly. And then in the next, and it's recognized that wait, they aren't Tea Party members. Wait, they aren't Tea Party guards. In the next chapter after that, and then we go in that chapter, it's to me that the the vigilante crew has really staged himself to fake all Nelson used vigilante crew as makeshift guards to really lure them into a trap. There's also a very good antidote there, which is very cool. I believe it. I can tell the reference. I would want to say Battlefield 1, but I don't think that's right. But there's a lot more Chekhov's gun. I do believe there's a Chekhov's gun, but I have no idea to write them or find out. But the one that is some, but seemingly it wasn't Chekhov's gun. It's just there's just a mantlet, and now number 65 just put the gun on the mantlet. There's a reset. First two chats in Nelson testing over. Rigging there's the testing somewhere where you got the A gun. There's a green haired secretary. In the current intervalo, she's an SRT informant. Yes, this office made a custom SRT squad. And she's an SRT informant. And she's an informant part of the squad that the president made called Dolphin Squad. You see all the members, and along with that, during the chapter we get to their leader, who's an Uma. And we're like, oh, that's odd. Hey, so nice Chekhov's gun there, number 65. I saw. No one knew. No one knew. No one knew. Oh, that this author has also given the president a name, which is M.I. I don't know how to say it. I probably can't say that right at all. But it is very cool that we got a name for her in this chapter also. But I don't have any idea what else I'm going to think. So this is a very good one. I don't think of any Chekhov stuff, but this being said, there's also a thing that Nelson has not been. That Nelson needs to go back to the bastard. He needs to move back to the camp. He's not been able to do. Nelson has been stuck. Nelson is basically stuck in City, unable to repair, and he's dead. So this is where. So I believe it's kind of thing of what may happen in it. I thought, oh, we're right into the oh, we're right into the interview. That's just no intervalo. So yeah. So here's a theory about this. So now I'm going on to the graphics, so you can click off now. Again, that theory is down below. The sort of fanfiction is down below. Go read it, please do. Tell them where you came from me. Also, high number 75. I'm angry that you didn't go to right into the next one, but you know what? It's fine. Anyways, theory crafting time. So my theory is this: during the Eden Tree signing and everything, when everything gets messed up, that either Bismarck's gonna show up, Bismarck's gonna come out of Nelson, or Nelson's going to crack and go abyssal. This is a this is a very large risk, and technically you do have Hina there, but Hina's good. But you know, if you know Eden Treaty, you know what happens to Hina. Oh, Hina's not going to be there immediately. Kosha's not there. Don't you that I think could calm down Nelson. It could probably knock out Nelson. But there's a large risk that Nelson does go fish, and there's an unknown possibility of what happens to it. There's also a possibility that Nelson gets a rigging for this. I should extremely agitated. But then again, it won't be that useful on ground, more useful on the seas. But there's a presence that it is very haunting. It is very spooked. You can be spooked by it, and it is and I say it is nerve-wracking to see that there's a risk that something bad might happen. That's the only theory I got for now. My other theory is that basically the spoilers chapter F spoiler that Fenner Potter's is probably Bismarck. Alongside the chat, also said there's technically three timelines. We're in the Nelson timeline. There might be a Bismarck timeline, and there might be a Fish Nelson, and there might be a Sea Princess, and there might be the European Water Princess timeline. Hopefully it's in that. Hopefully, hopefully we're on the right one. And so, hello, hi. So, thank you. I hope you guys are fine. Hope you guys like this. Again, hello. Number 675, good story. If I were to rate it, out of 10 for now. Scary what happened to Nelson. Yeah, have a good time. I have a good afternoon, night, morning, whatever time you're seeing this at.